Hey, you guys. No big welcome back. No big showing you the starting place in my home. This isn't actually a clean with me. It's not a whole house clean. This is me showing up because I don't know. This isn't really a cleaning channel. I mean, it looks like it. If you look at most of my videos, they're cleaning videos, but it's not a cleaning channel. That's just where my focus is because I'm terrible at it and I need to get better. But it's a Beth channel. But more importantly, it's not a Beth channel, it's an us channel. It's all of us. Um, I feel like we have built such a loving community, and I've been thinking about our our community, I guess. This space is not intended to teach you how to clean because I'm not great at it. I'm not here to teach you any of that. There are so many better places to learn how to clean. It's not for, I don't know, this is just for us to come and hang out. This is me spending time with my friends. And I hope when you come here, you feel like you're spending time with a friend too. And sometimes your friend's dog dies and they still want to spend time with you. So you know it's not going to be super fun, but you know she's sad and she wants to spend time with her friends. My dog died. I had to put her down. Sweet Potato knew. I know you might hear her screaming in the background right now, but that wasn't her first time hearing that. She knows. She's just being dramatic and would like to pull focus because she's very self-centered. And I needed the levity. My dog Beauty had a tumor on her foot. It got so much bigger over the weekend, and we had been to a specialist. We knew it was cancer. We went to a regular doctor, and he said, here's the specialist. The specialist was 90 minutes away, and they said, yes, we can remove it, but it will be amputation of 2 toes. And that was set for today, Tuesday. But over the weekend, she got way worse. Her leg got way more swollen, and there were new lumps up higher. And we reached out to the specialist clinic, and my vet was closed, and we just gave her pain pills. She didn't seem like she was in terrible amounts of pain, but we knew we needed to talk to people on Monday. We called the specialists, and they were like, oh, send pictures and I'll show them to the surgeon and we'll make decisions. And I did, and I didn't hear back as quickly as I needed to. So I called my actual vet and I said, could I come in? I just need you to aspirate the lumps up top. And I want to see if it's cancer, because if it's spreading that rapidly and doing so much damage so quickly, we need to make a different choice than surgery tomorrow. And they fit me in. And when he came in, I said, just say it as fast as you can. And he said, those tumors tested positive for mass cancer cells. I recommend euthanasia. So, that's what we chose. I brought Beauty home because I promised my kids I would. My husband came and met me. We gave her a ton of hot dogs and we spent time with her as a family. And then we brought her in and said goodbye. You guys gave me such an outpour of love and shared with me your pets that have passed on and how you hoped our dogs were playing together. And that was such a kind, beautiful thing to hear. And I am so immensely grateful for you. And I've been thinking about you quite a bit. I knew I was going to come back with a video, and I knew eventually it was going to happen, and I'm a very much rip the band-aid kind of person, and I wasn't going to wait until I came back and I could pretend that it didn't happen because it did. And I want to be my most me for you. Now, I am sure it seems really toxic influencer behavior. Like, I'm sure this can come across gross. Um, One thing is the reason I'm cleaning my floor, I was super allergic to Beauty. I was really allergic to Rottweilers. Her hair, it's why I sneeze so much. When she licked me, I would have to go shower because I itch so badly. And sometimes just my face and my eyes would itch so intensely that I would have to take Benadryl, wash my face as hard as possible. And even then, it was just miserable. But I loved her so much, it wasn't that miserable. It was just okay. It was fine. It was something I was willing to do to keep her close to me. So her tumor on her foot was very weepy and gross as well. So not only do I need to get dog hair up off the floor, but I need to clean the floor where she walked. It's also why I'm pulling up the rugs and sending them out to be washed. It just couldn't have been very great. I had plans on doing the floors today anyways because she was supposed to be in surgery and I wanted to have nice clean floors while, for her to come home to, how dogs super appreciate clean floors and they're like, good job, babe. Um, sorry, my jokes aren't going to land today. It's fine. I'll be funny next time. Um, so yeah, I was planning on doing it and I was thinking so much last night what I was going to say the next time I came back here, how I was going to be, how this was going to go. And it kind of felt like a dread, like a worry. And so let's just do it. Let's rip the Band-Aid and come back and talk about it a little bit. And if it's too much of a bummer, I get that. I just fun sponging over here, sucking up all the joy like you wouldn't believe. I get that. But I don't know. I didn't want to do it alone. I didn't want to face this part alone. It's so much of her. It's all the time when I swept, it was Beauty's hair this and Beauty's hair that. And it was a big part of my life. And I knew it was going to be hard and I didn't want to do it alone. And so now you're here with me doing this. Okay, so I have been thinking a lot about the different things I was going to say. One of them, I wanted to talk about how the twins handled the news. So, first of all, if you're new here, that sucks. You picked a terrible video. You should just abandon ship and watch a better one. Trust me, it's not this. I am so funny and I'm so happy. You pick the one that my dog dies in. That's a terrible episode. Just like Futurama. Really, really, really funny. Dog dies episode is the worst thing that's ever happened to anyone. Just how it is. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. You don't need to. It's heartbreaking. So my twins are autistic, and the crap part about autism is most of it, but can you hear my husband in the kitchen? So I have already done this voiceover before and it did not go well. It did not go well. But in it, I said, hopefully if I stay in here doing this voiceover for long enough, my husband gives up and makes dinner on his own. So yes, if you hear him, he is cooking in the kitchen. He's not rage cooking. He's sadness cooking. So what I was saying is autism is a spectrum, and the crappy thing about that is depending where you are on the spectrum, you could live a whole different life than someone in a different part of the spectrum. Like for us, we're pretty deep in it. We're not nonverbal autistic adults deep. That's a whole different box of worms, but we are not independent living deep. And so watching one of my daughters process with her pacing and her reciting comforting things like movies that she's seen and her crying was incredibly difficult to see. And I just hated it. Another really great thing about the autism though is my girls really hold on to memories, even bad ones, for the foreseeable future. And I mean years from now, they're going to be like, hey mom, remember the day Beauty died? That was sad. And so we're constantly going to be talking about that. They don't ruminate on miserable things. It's just when it pops in their head, they say it out loud. And usually when we think about when people have passed, we think of like a happy memory. Okay, I get Beauty's not a person. Pets that have passed, we think of happy memories. We think of how they made us feel. We rarely focus on the day that they died, but it is their most prominent last memory of her. And so it's going to be one of the most prominent things that they talk about. It's just the thing. When Mark or I die, it will be the same, I think. I think years down the road, they'll say to the other parent, be like, hey, remember when our other parent died? That was sad. So, yeah. All right. I finally got that up. I needed Sonia to help me. Because I wasn't going to put that much effort into it. Oh, and because my other daughter is sick. Because things just keep going right for me, right? So I decide you guys are mopped back here, so you get the long shot for a while. I'm not going to walk back over my wet floor to come back for you guys. And I'm mopping behind the couch. Now, I moved the couch like 4 inches to the right because what I think was happening is I think our couch kept moving so much. It was partially when we sat down, we moved it, but I feel like whenever Beauty kind of like shoved her body against it and then collapsed on the floor to lay down, I think she was moving the couch slowly but surely back towards the kitchen and out towards like the sliding glass door. It just over the span of a year and a half, she had moved it like half a foot in both directions. And I realized it was wildly not lined up. So I moved it. And also all this dog hair, I hope you're appreciating it as you see it come out because this is like the second time I've swept. I swept the day before because there were just massive chunks. I don't know if it was the changing of the season or her illness, but the quantity of dog hair that had been coming out was amazing. It was awe-inspiring, but it was also ruining my sinuses. Like she and I were on the same Benadryl regimen, except for I wasn't hiding mine in hot dogs and horking them down with a hot dog chaser. I was just drinking water with mine like a reasonable human. So I know here, I'm glad I did this. It sucked. It needed to be done. It sucked, but I am deeply contemplating my sorrow and my loss for my dog and sweeping up her fur and thinking about how while I'm thinking, oh, I'm not going to do this again, I know she hid so much more dog hair that I'm going to be doing this for a very long time. Her dog hair is going to come up so much more. And I'm struggling. You can see that. But it's okay. And I'm also thinking about you guys. I know that sounds crazy and weird to obsess about you guys, but I'm also thinking about how I'm filming this and what I'm going to say. I'm abruptly abandoning the mopping because my daughter was sick and I needed to bring her water and hold her hair. Don't worry, she's not that sick. She just is throwing up a little bit today. She'll be fine tomorrow. So I'm thinking about you guys. I know I'm filming it. So a lot of the time when I am filming my cleans, I'm also thinking about what I'm going to say to you guys during the cleans, which is hilarious because then when I sit down and do my voiceovers, I never say like, "Oh, yeah, I was going to cover this topic." I'm just like, "Oh," and then like we have had so much conversation in my head before I show up and have more conversation with you that there's like 3 hours of conversation that you should already know, but you don't because I don't know, you're selfish and you don't live inside my brain. Um, you're not in my house with me while I'm trying to clean, which you should. Don't fold my laundry. That's weird, but you know, you can come move some of these boxes. Okay, the boxes are like this in front of the door because my HOA is run by a bunch of Karens that I cannot defeat. There's like mega Karens involved, and we don't get to trick or treat on Halloween because everybody's like, oh, I don't want to take my kids to school the next day. And so we do it the Saturday before. It's dumb and makes Halloween extra dumb, which is why I'm having a Halloween party for my kids at my house on Halloween so that we can acknowledge the holiday. Anyways, the dogs were losing their minds in the room. But if we let them all the way to the door, they would jump up and scratch. Okay, also important is nobody opens their door for trick or treat. Everybody sits with tables in front of their doors to hand out the candy. That part's actually really cool. But so my husband made a box barrier so the dogs couldn't go and jump on the door and blah blah blah. And I wanted to break down the boxes because I knew that there was going to be dog hair tucked under. And I needed to get rid of it for my sinuses' sake. But also, I knew this was over here. And I am just all about ripping Band-Aids today. I am going to open it and deal with it because I don't want to keep dealing with it. It's not that I'm going to try to hide and forget that beauty existed, but I don't want to keep inflicting heartache as intensely as I'm feeling it. So, that was a little bit of her medicine and a delivery of her dog food. Because I feel so strongly about prepping. Also, if you're new here, I like to prep. I don't know how you've made it this long. If you're new, but subscribe. So I have several, there we go. Back on track, guys. We're good. We're fine. I have several bags of dog food and dog medicine. I called the animal shelter. I asked if they would take medicine, even bottles that have been opened, not like they're safety locked, and if they would take dog food. And they said yes. So I was able to gift them quite a bit of allergy meds and pain pills and 2 big bags of dog food and 1/2 of the dog food. And she said that she would take open dog food. She's okay with that. And then I cried and she gave me a hug. This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. And there's some feeling of silliness. I don't know if it was just how it was when we grew up or because I know true sorrow, but it feels a little silly to be like this for a dog. But I loved her so much and she was my friend. And it hurts so deeply. And I hate this. And this is why I didn't want to do it alone. I needed to have you guys with me because I needed someone. Okay. Because I'm not cleaning, I'm just getting things up. I just want to get the floors done. which I've said it like 5 times, but in case you tuned out, um, which how dare you? This is riveting content. um, okay. Sweet Potato climbed up on my desk and I think she wants to step on the computer. She's still a little jealous. There's too much focus not on her. You know how she goes through, if you're new here, my cat goes through phases when she's in love with me, when she doesn't really care if I exist. We are currently obsessed with me. And so she wants to be with me every moment of every day. No, ma'am, please don't walk on my computer. I have to watch it. Oh, look at that, you guys. Okay. We cuddled with her in here, and the whole family was petting her. And so there's so much dog hair in here. When I had her at the vet, oh my Lord, she filled the vet room with dog hair. The first one we were in, when we were just making sure that those tumors were cancer, and then in the one where we said goodbye, there was so much dog hair in those rooms that I was like, okay, I feel a lot better about my house, because if we could do this in this amount of time and we're just passing through, makes sense that my house has extreme amounts of dog hair. It was so much, and very funny. And I have to say, the vet that I went to was amazing. They were so kind and beautiful, and I knew he was really busy. I think they were down a doctor, so it was just one doctor, and they were incredibly busy, and he squeezed me in anyways in the morning. And then when we were making our choices, I was like, I know you're busy today. Will she be okay overnight? Can we have medicine? And he's like, I will give you medicine. I'll give you as much medicine as you need for the time that you need. But I'll also hold open any time this afternoon for you. I will have a room. And I didn't understand what that meant. So I called later and I was like, okay, we need the time that you're willing to have us. And they're like, it's at any time. You just come. And they had held a room and got it ready for us and had a nice soft blanket on the floor. And they just kept it open until we got there. The second they saw me, they took us to the back. They came, they hugged, they gave her treats. They told me what a good girl she was, and they were just so compassionate. And I'm incredibly grateful for that as well. Look at all this hair. Now, I have been cleaning underneath my couch because I keep losing things. It's not intentional cleaning. It's me wishing I knew where things were. And then because you're there watching me, I have to be like, oh, I guess I'm going to clean all this trash up too. But in reality, I just want to know where the remote is. So because I've been doing that so much, there wasn't as much as we could have seen underneath that couch. It was one of my better showings for that. And the day, like, if you don't clean the rest of your house and you're just doing floors, it takes no time at all. It was a very fast clean for me. I have to say my house is relatively clean. If you guys are peeking in the backgrounds, this is one of my better moments. Oh, also, right before I sat down to do the voiceover, our pet sitter, who is also our human sitter, she sits the kids and the animals, brought me a bouquet of flowers and a card, and it was very great. So one of my dear friends here, the one that we gave the flu because I made her drive me to go get a rental car when my kids were sick, her family runs the local pet sitting, and so they're incredible people, and I love her mother very much, but this girl, she is one of the best teens I have ever known. She is amazing, and I appreciate her so much. and she's a great sitter, and she's just a great human. And so I am not surprised in the least that she went out and got a sympathy card and flowers and came and hugged me and checked in with the kids and gave all my other pets love, because that's just how she was raised. She is amazing. So we're finishing up. Right there, oh my goodness, I did want to tell you guys, the birds outside were so loud, I thought it was heavy machinery. I thought like maybe somebody was in my backyard with a backhoe or something crazy like that. And so I had to go check. I was like, what is that? It was just all the birds screaming, probably at me. Probably asking me to toss out some of that sweet, sweet dog hair so they can build their nests. But yeah, so that's what I went and did. Look at this, you guys. A lot of that came from the stairs. Some of you have asked where my stairs are. You saw me go up them and then just shoot dog hair down. That's where those stairs are. So if you break in, don't go upstairs. It's really dirty, guys. You won't like it. All the good stuff is downstairs. To try to not be such a bummer, I do like my purple outfit, the light purple pants and the dark purple top. That's kind of nice. I'm a little bit at a loss for words. I'm sorry, you guys. But we are almost done. I just want to say, I deeply appreciate you guys. I love all of you. I love our friendship. I love what we're doing. I love our community. I am so grateful to have you in my life. And I am glad to bring you on my downs, you know, as well as my highs. I want you here for my lows. And I'm glad I'm sneezing because it just reminds me of Beauty. But I don't want to hide this part of my life from you. I don't want to be, it's not inauthentic to keep things private. I'm not saying that, but Beauty was such a big part of my channel as well. And I know that we love our pets so much, and it's okay to grieve them. And I know, I don't know what I know. I think I'm just trying to tell you thank you. And I love you. And I'm not going to promise to be happier in the next video. I'm not going to promise anything like that. Just that there will be a next video. And I know that there are a lot of you out there who have lost their pets. And I just hope that they have found beauty and that they're all playing with each other across that beautiful rainbow bridge.